Okay. There is a new wave of propaganda and lies against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Okay. I've been seeing it on social media. First, it started with, what is this guy's name? Atola Chijoke. It started with Chijoke. I saw him post it. They made a documentary against Nnamdi Kanu, okay, that he's the cause of the killings in Osu. Okay, I actually saw it from his page first. Now, after him, I noticed he started flying. Okay, I saw one Efulefu who came on live camera. He said his name is Chigozie, to say that the government should kill Nnamdi Kanu. Okay, that he is the cause of the problem in Osu. Okay, now also from there I saw New Central Africa also pushing the same agenda. Okay, they are also pushing the same agenda. It's not coincident. Okay, you know, the first wave of it, that one didn't go down well. The one they used both Udele, both Ikengurago and a lot of them. Okay, even the Lolo, those ones they peddled then, that one didn't go down well. So they've come with the second phase of it. Okay, because Nnamdi Kanu is their greatest threat. Nnamdi Kanu is their greatest problem. Nnamdi Kanu is the stumbling block they have. So they need to take him out of the way. Okay. Now, for those of you gullibles that we still fall to their tricks, okay, because I'm happy. I've gone through some comments. I've gone through the comments and I see that our people are waking up. Okay. So the first thing is that you must be mentally tough. Okay. Like those of us. Okay. We are mentally tough. So we can fall to all these their tricks. You get me? Now, I want to, for those of you that don't know, I want to ask simple question. For those of you, Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention for the past 5 years. Okay, if we add the one before, his trial before and all that, for the past 10 years, he's undergoing trial for the past 10 years. Okay, let's say for 5 years now, he's been behind bars. And everything that is still happening, why he's been absent, they are still blaming him for it. For the past 5 years, Nnamdi Kanu has been behind bars. And everything that is still happening, they are still tagging it. They are still pinning it on him. Okay, now let me ask you. On the 15th, on the 2nd of December, 2015, young Igbo men were killed in Onitsha. The same thing also repeated in the early 2016. They shot young Igbo men, young Igbo youths. Okay, now on the 28th, 29th, 30th of May 2016, they went to a church, took young Igbo men and women who gathered in a church. Hundreds were lost. They killed a lot of people in 2016, May 28, 29, 30. They killed young Igbo men and women. Now, coming down on February 9th, 2016, some people gathered and were praying and singing in Aba, Ngwa High School in Aba, Abia State. The military went there with the police, the joint task force went there and shot them. And we lost hundreds of people. And they took some others away. Later, we now discovered their bodies in borrow pits. We discovered their bodies in shallow graves. Most of them, their bodies was dissolved with acid, by acid. They were baited with acid. Was it also Nnamdi Kanu that has been committing these atrocities? Now, going further, on the 20th of January, 2017, that was actually the day Donald Trump was inaugurated, his first tenure. Hundreds were killed in River State. Young men and women were killed, and a lot of them were imprisoned. And you ask yourself, what are the crime of these people? What has been the crime of these people? Okay, now on the 14th of September 2017, the home of Nnamdi Kanu in Afaruku, Ibeku, was invaded. The military invaded it in an attempt to assassinate him, to kill him. He managed to escape. They killed 28 people at that spot. And several others, hundreds of others were killed that day. Those who were fleeing for their life. Hundreds were killed that day in Abia State. Now, coming down to 2020, on the 20th of October 2020, when Nigerians were asking for a better country, when Nigerians were asking for good leadership, they shot scores of them at Lekki Toll Gate. They killed a lot of them in Lagos. Now, in River State, in Obibo, in Transamadi, in Elelawon, and those houses, hundreds were killed. This has been the atrocities committed by the state, by the security personnel, by Nigerian state against the citizens, against the indigenous people, against the Igbos. Okay. Now, on the 21st, in 2021, a woman called Calista Ifed was kidnapped by the Directorate of State Security, DSS. She was kidnapped around 2 a.m. She and the husband was kidnapped. The woman, as of the time of as of the time she was abducted, she was above 50 years. She was abducted and taken away. That was all we had from her. In 2026, the DSX, the state security, now admitted that they abducted her and that she died in their custody. So they killed her. They abducted her and they killed her. And I don't know the people that are following the case, because I would have asked that the body of that woman be exhumed so that we'll find out if her organs are still intact. We find out if her organs are still intact. Because the young man who exposed the one of Okozosas, I heard he's still behind bars. The young man who exposed the one of Okozosas is still behind bars. We find out, let's find out if her organs, if the organs of Calista Ifed is still intact. Or they've used her organ, or they've sold her organ, or her organ. Since they are in the business of organ harvesting. That is what we get. And what is the crime of this woman? They said she's an IPOB. They said she sells provision. She sells something. She sells food. And people comes to buy from her. An IPOB comes to buy from her. And Igbos come to buy from her. You ask yourself, what is the meaning of IPOB? Indigenous people of Biafra. So why are you killing indigenous people? Why are you displacing indigenous people? That means there is an agenda to displace indigenous people. The people in Aba that were singing and praying in Ngwa High School on the 9th of February 2016 that you went and shot, what was their crime? They were singing and praying. Then you should have told us, if Nigeria is an Islamic country, then you make it open to us. That's why that people like us, we know that Nigeria is an Islamic country, because Nigeria doesn't have Christianity in their constitution. So you should make it public, make it open, so that people like us can understand. We can leave our various faiths and join you and become extremists, because you cannot survive in Nigeria if you're not religiously extremist. You get what I'm saying? Then we convert the whole churches in Nigeria to mosque. You should have told us. Because if people can be praying and singing, and you go there and shoot them and kill them in their 100, was it also Nnamdi Kanu that did all these things? All these atrocities were committed by the state. We are committed by the government. Is that not so?